welcome to the Migrant Tribe. Stories from our journey down under, episode 23. And together with me are the other members of the tribe. There's an Erwin. Hi, Erwin. How you
Hello,
doing?
I'm good. Thank you.
Okay. And then there's a John. How you doing, John?
It's nice to be here once again. Thank you,
Good,
Joseph.
good. Good to see you, John. And of course, Joey. How you doing, Joey?
Hello, everyone.
Hello. Okay. Okay. So, due to the pandemic that has affected our planet since last year, more than anything else, health has been the one of the main issues we're facing at the moment. You know, with so many people who've lost their lives already, people continue to be sick. And not only that, it has also affected our economy. It's affected also the government on how they're able to govern. It also affected relationships between countries. So now, really, it's very important how to keep fit, how to stay fit, how to stay healthy. So our topic for today, we'll try to give you some of our tips on how to keep healthy. Okay, a bit of a reminder: none of us are health professionals in this group. Okay, so whatever we would be telling you would be something probably we read or probably something that we just practice on our own. Okay, so health is a very broad topic, very diverse topic. So what we've decided is, we kind of break it down to the different aspects of health. So for today's episode, we'll be discussing how to keep physically healthy. So I like to call in our good friend Joey.
Okay. Yes. Actually, I think because of pandemic, right? Um, we have limited access of, let's say, things that we can do, or even the time that we can do, or type of sports that we can do, right?
Yep.
To get into fitness, one of the key aspects, shall I say, is to get into, keep that health or improve that health we have. By experience, okay, as I can share, is through pandemic, it opened the opportunity for myself, explore. Okay. By the way, so again, I just want to put a disclaimer. Whatever worked here, or what I mean, in terms in what I did, did it's actually work for me. It may not work for you, it may work for you, but at least I can attest to you that I'm a living proof of what I've done.
Yep.
So
Yep.
there are two things when lockdown hit. It's either you go running or you do cycling, and it came to discovery with myself, right? Because I have a bike, and I actually just jump on a bike. After that, I tried running first, and then get into cycling. I love cycling, and because of my interest, and also my influence with my dad loving cycling, right? I was able to really invest time in it. Just a couple of rides in a week because of lockdown. It started from one ride after another to another, and eventually I built up my own strength, or the interest.
Endurance. Yep.
Um, Probably the good story that I can share is really I started only 5 kilometers to 15 kilometers. I'm already tired. I say, you know what? With that, is that really what I can do? How come my dad was able to do 200 Ks? So in the back of my mind, I say I want to be able to do that, and also inspire other people to get into cycling. So we started, or actually worked with another group, with a couple of friends. We started this cycling club, and then from then on, it gave me the medium, or actually the opportunity to share the passion itself, and also the interest to become healthy because of COVID. The best way that we could combat COVID, as what I see, is get healthy. If we're healthy, a lot of Australians are healthy, more likely, or Filipino Australians are healthy. I mean, there's no chance or less risk for us to actually, I mean, acquire that disease. So moving on. Um, so from 5 kilometers, 10 kilometers that I could do, I really try to improve, just build up. I never give up. I tried cycling at least 2 or 3 times a week.
Mm-hmm.
Started with just coming with a friend. One secret is when you get to a sport to get healthy, right? You should have a support network, just like what we do in here in Migrant Tribe.
Mm-hmm.
When you are part of a community and you are supported with like-minded people, the interest doesn't stop, or the progression actually even speeds up because everyone has different insights, different ideas, and they push you along if they have the same target. So from that perspective, uh, I mean the measure, shall I say, in terms in measure of success, we were able to me myself and also the people that ride with me. So the group started 20 members. Right now it's 462, I think, from today. We have 462 members all
Congratulations.
over
Mm-hmm.
Australia.
Yep.
And
It's
aside from
nice.
that, we were able to do 300. I'm sorry, 200-kilometer rides average, which is the longest ride we were able to do. I wouldn't expect that I can actually even do it.
Yep.
Um, so we did the around the bay from Werribee going around Mordialloc
Yep.
to Frankston to Sorrento, ride a ferry, and then you go to Queenscliff, ride a bike again, back to Werribee. And then we did the reverse of that as well, which from 214, it became to 218 kilometers. The last one we did was the Great Ocean Road Ride. And there's a lot of our members, 35 of our members actually had joined that ride. We were able to successfully finish that. So 50% of that members are all newbies. They're not really,
Seasoned
shall I
cyclists.
say,
Yep.
seasoned
Wow,
cyclists.
Yep. That's good.
that's
And
possible.
It's nice. That's good.
and nothing is impossible if you put your effort in it. We did a proper preparation in terms in building up the skills and the endurance on the ride,
Yep.
on the legs, and also not just the legs. It's also the diet that we have. I think we've been speaking on the off record
Yep. Yep. Proper
that
diet.
diet and sleep recovery. So training, sleep, and diet is actually important um, aspect to actually improve our health, which is we can really see, as an output to that. Me myself, able to do that right from 90 kilos. I was when I started. Right now, I'm on 79.
So, question, although it's a very impressive moving forward of the cycling team from
Yeah.
the number of kilometers started, then towards the mileage that you've been um, going through, and at the same time with the uh, increase of membership in such a fast pace.
Mhm.
Question is, is your regimentation in allowing members to be part of the round the bay cycling? Do you have preliminaries of say for example, if you are an aspiring pilot, in order for you to fly alone or to fly by yourself,
Mhm.
there must be one senior pilot, or you need to complete 100 number of hours before you can fly. Is that the same? Is that also applied in your group, or
Is that
just anybody will say, okay, I can do it and I'll join with you,
like is
and
there like
then
maybe a base that one member should be familiar with before you can join the I don't
yeah,
I think it's kind
Right.
of like that.
200
Yes.
kilometers is not
It's not easy.
short
It's not
distance.
easy. It's far
Yeah,
from
even if
easy.
that takes the distance out of it
Yeah.
for a
Correct.
starter.
Well, the way we didn't really impose it, right? Those riders who would like to attempt a 200K that we did, right? We
Okay.
didn't really impose it because technically I mean, any riders who would ride along with us, I mean, sometimes, I mean, before we even do the 200K, we rode 50 kilometers, 80 kilometers, 100 plus. The
In
body
one
won't
month.
lie, or the legs, actually, our legs itself, right? And also our fitness level won't lie. Because if you can keep up with the group, we can really see that you are actually improving. So and from that point on, because we don't want that in idea that, oh, so you cannot do 50K right now, no, you cannot do the 200K. No, we don't have to even say that. That person would already know from for himself, right? Him or herself, that no, I mean, I cannot do 50K right now. I mean, I cannot do 200. So through I mean, also pushing their confidence and their skill level. Only a selected few. So from the 400 plus, right? There's about 10 I mean, less than 10% who joined the cycling ride, and those people really, we've seen them how they're prepared themselves, and we don't have to even say that you cannot join, because it's still their prerogative if they want to join or not. But at the end of the day, the beauty of having the community is we would hold your hand. I mean, obviously, you're gonna hold each other's hand on cycling, right? So, but I mean, we can ensure at least we can look after you. I mean,
Hold the
when you ride with
bike.
us.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
Um, it's uh it's good that you kind of mentioned in what you said earlier about how you pretty much you handle, like, say, the physical aspect, the getting fit aspect,
Hmm.
the diet, and then resting, sleeping. So pretty much, actually, that's all those three is what I found was to simplify how to be physically healthy. Those are the three pretty much, I would say, the main components: being active,
Hmm.
keeping fit, watching your diet, and having sufficient rest or sleep. Okay, so I'd like to pass this to Erwin, who is currently
Why me?
your diet of, you kind of just mentioned
Be
in
qualified.
passing that you're going
Hmm.
through a certain fasting regimen. When did you start this, and why?
That's awesome. Yeah.
I thought you were gonna ask me about my physical activities. I'm not the best person to be honest.
No,
But
the
anyway,
diet, the
what
diet
I
you're doing. I
do,
mean, that's still part of
diet.
being physically healthy. A good diet. Yeah.
Yeah,
We'll work on that.
yeah.
We'll work on that. Okay.
You work on that, yeah. So yeah. So we started last year during when the pandemic
Pandemic hit. Yep.
came. That was I think that was April or May last year. Um, yeah, because I gained weight. I gained like probably 10 more pounds during that period, short period. So what we did is I watched a YouTube flick about intermittent fasting
Yep.
and the benefits of it. So and I learned a very important words called autophagy, which is
Mm.
basically your cell is regenerating. It's eating the bad cells or eating the waste of so that you don't even have to really exert effort or like doing the exercise, physical exercise, but your body is healing itself. So I think it's more of that, uh, not much on the weight loss but
Mm-hmm.
also the internal benefits of that of doing the actual IF as we call
Okay.
it. So what I do currently is I must admit I falter sometimes. So I commit mistakes, but
Yeah, well, that's normal. everyone,
yeah,
everyone,
so I still
everyone.
struggle.
Mhm.
So but yeah, so but I as much as I can I do the 16 8 hour fast, which
Yep.
means 16 hours of
Mm.
of eating
Everything.
and eight
No, that's the
hours
other way
of
around. Okay. Don't get us wrong.
okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
The other
So
way
it's an
around.
8 hour window of you can really eat.
Yep.
As much as possible, I only eat twice a day,
Yep.
and low carbs, or if not at all, almost
Zero,
zero
zero
carbs.
carbs
So it's like an IF slash keto combination. So
combination.
that's what I do. I initially had lost weight, but there's
Mhm.
a certain point that it's going to be hard. When you reach a certain weight loss and it just barely stops there. I think
Right,
that
right. You
that's
kind of
where
plateau,
exercise
right?
comes
Yep.
in. Exactly. But at least I'm doing something. If I
Mm-hmm.
if I do the same thing that I doing before,
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm my waistline is over the roof.
Okay, good.
So I think that's basically what I do.
That's good to hear. For me, I've also done intermittent fasting. I think one of the benefits also you get a better night sleep. For me, I don't know. I find it because yeah, because you haven't eaten for so long, so you sleep more. Like how, because even when you're sleeping, you're digesting kind of thing. That's what
Yeah.
I'm saying. Okay, so that's the second. So um, diet. Okay, so the third aspect is also about having sufficient sleep. Or now, I think there was a survey that came out that it's a worldwide epidemic, prior to the pandemic, epidemic about people not sleeping enough. Okay, so because the
Yeah.
lifestyle has totally changed. We're now a 24/7 economy.
Mhm.
Before, you'd have to go to sleep because there's nothing else to do. Now, you can hop on the internet and you can still be entertained and all that. So that's, I think, another thing that another important is to have that sufficient time of sleep. I
Mhm.
know, in the past it was kind of like, okay, very good.
I'm not.
There's
This is not
advertisement
paid
going on.
advertising, but
Mm,
I take this as well.
mhm.
Melatonin.
Oh, good. Oh, good. Okay. So yeah.
Well,
So again. So yeah. Try to have sufficient sleep every time. Yes, Joey, you were gonna say something.
yes, and you mentioned that, right?
Yep.
Actually, there's because of very, I mean, we're very highly or accessible, highly technical right now, right? In
Yep.
terms in the technology we can access, is very
Available. Yep.
easy to acquire, right?
Yep.
Let me just share. I actually have, I mean, again, this is not a paid advertisement. I use Whoop, they
Okay.
call it, right? Um, so this device, okay.
Maybe
Mm-hmm.
get them to pay
Um,
us as well.
We should just
Instead of
should
advertising.
we,
so that's the brand, okay, just so you know, right? Okay, so this device actually, or there's so many, I mean, not just promoting Whoop, right? There's so many devices. There's a couple of there's a lot of devices like sleep trackers. Now, one thing that I've learned is you don't necessarily have to sleep 10
8
hours,
hours,
8
9 hours.
hours, or 9 hours
Yep.
to get rested. It's actually the quality of sleep that you get,
Yep.
right? During the night. It's not just, I mean, because with the tracker, I can see that if I'm gonna perform, try to actually push myself on my training, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's actually how was I able to even get faster or improve faster, because I really look into the resting part, and I would attest to that. You push yourself on one day, next following day there should be a program that
Yep.
you really recover. Don't push yourself. I
Yep.
mean, it depends on really on your body, right? And then the next day, if you get a good full rest, then you push yourself again.
Yep.
So there should be an alternate sequence. It will come up to a time that probably you can really recover well, because you teach your body, we teach our body to recover faster. That's where most athletes or top athletes performers are actually really, I mean, do well. And also like good, I mean, big, shall I say, very highly high performer business owners or CEOs.
Mm-hmm.
They're like athletes. Their health is the number one thing that they worked on. And once they could hone that in, that they're really performing well, everything falls into place in how they can create value on what they do and how they improve their life in many ways. So I would agree.
Okay.
Have a sleep tracker, and that would really help.
Thank you for all those marketing tips, different
It's
products.
well,
Okay.
well, this is a very good topic we got. I
Yes.
think, yeah.
Okay.
We'll keep talking if
Okay,
we
as
don't
we
stop.
kind of wind down, so thank you all for your inputs.
Mhm.
So again, these are just some practices that we do. Of course, you still need to go to your physician to see what type of health activity that would suit you. Okay, so now we come to that part of our episode. Like every episode, we have what we call a migrant hack. So for today's migrant hack, I'd like to call in John. Again, it's also related to health. So yes, John, tell us what your hack
Hi,
is about.
good evening once again.
Yep.
I do believe that nature is the best energizer. So as you can see among the four of us, I am the one that has a smaller frame of the body, so to speak. But because we there are times of the day that when we wake up or when we start our day, it's very hard to be active or to be positive about it. One thing that I usually do, if say for example I wake up in the morning, um, I go out of the lawn and step on the grass when there's still dew or still moist. Step on the grass and feel the power of nature.
Barefoot. You step on
Sometimes,
barefoot.
yeah, step on barefoot
Yep.
and feel the power of nature. So sometimes early in the morning it's too cold. You can feel sort of every time you step on the blade of the grass, sort of it electrifies you,
Yep.
and it really feels good. You need not go to massage therapist or have a massage. If you are uh, on the right time during the morning, then you can really have that kind of energy sort of recharging you. And also, part of my loan is pebble, so I step as well on the pebble,
Mm-hmm.
and it hit the vital parts of the palm of the foot. So sort of a massage as well. And this is my personal experience. You can try it, you will feel it, or you may not feel it. But for me, that's how I experience it. It's very revitalizing, very energizing, and if you want to adapt, have a cup of coffee, brainstorming, thinking on what is about to happen during the day or your activities during the day. Um, Walking barefoot on
Yes.
top of the grass and on the pebbles.
Yes, and
And
it's
yeah, because this is an old tradition or old knowledge by people in the mountain as practiced by them that they usually go barefoot, and it has always benefits. Not only through traditional knowledge, but I think there are some scientific studies now that if you go barefoot, it helps revitalize or it helps energize your body. And maybe anyone from the group can have a scientific insight or a book read about
Yeah,
walking barefoot. Then
yeah.
that's it.
Actually, let me just add that. I mean, I've recently read a book, Born to Run. In that book, actually was saying there's a hidden, they call it like hidden tribe before in Mexico that they call it um, uh, uh, caballo blanco, right? The idea is like when you run, you should not leave any trace at all. And the only way you could do that is when you run barefooted. When you run barefooted, you get the sense of what's really on the ground, and that information sends to your brain, and that in a way actually fills in all the energy that you need to actually when you're touching the ground, and then you use that as a force to work around with nature. So
yep.
there's I mean it's a very good insight. I mean you guys can have a read on that. I forgot the author's name, but
Yeah, that's
Born
good.
to Run.
Good, good. And it will not cost you at all anything. You just have to take off your shoes and walk on grass.
Yes, believe
Okay.
and do it.
Yep.
Be naked, barefoot.
Okay, so before anything else, so I guess that's it for today's episode. Before we start talking about other things, Bear. Okay, so to all our viewers, thank you again for watching Migrant Tribe, and bye.
Stay safe.